using to escape what you're going through. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I think we all have these things that we use to just escape life, escape the world, however you want to look at it. Um, and we do this because we don't want to face what we're up against. And I understand from a point of view that you just want to not deal with what's in front of you, especially when it's hitting you hard every single day. But I wanted to talk to you tonight about what are you escaping from? Actually sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, what am I trying to escape? And then looking at it from this point of view, if whatever you're using to escape, that's a prison. Whatever it is, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever it is you do to escape, that's a prison. Because what you're doing, you're incarcerating your mental. You're trying to go somewhere instead of just facing the fact of whatever you're dealing with. And I know it's hard. I've dealt with stuff too where it's easier just to go somewhere else and not look at it and disappear and have somebody else to blame or something, or put the blame on something else instead of just facing the fact. But the reality is, whatever we're using whatever these things that we do, is incarcerating us mentally. And then some of the things that you can do, so to say, let's just say, a person will tell you like, well, Ron, this makes me feel good sometimes or whatnot. Well, that's parole. Basically, you're on mental parole. And what happens when you're on parole? You still got to check in with your PO. So you still got to go back to the same escape to check in instead of just facing, what you're going through. Facing the truth, facing the harsh realities of what we go through on an everyday basis. This is very difficult. I'm not gonna I'll never sugarcoat it and make it seem like it's just easy to get over, because in most cases it's always easier said than done. But the reality of it is whenever you have a problem in front of you, you're going to have to address it. I don't care what it is. You're going to have to address it to be able to get over it. If you're gonna start putting things in front of it, you're just drawing that jail cell door and saying, well, the reason the reason I'm doing this is because I have this in front of me. I have these bars in front of me. I have this obstacle in front of me. I have these issues or these problems in front of me. Instead of just addressing what it really is. And a lot of times we can put ourselves in a position to where all we're really doing is we're going to stay behind that door. We're going to stay behind those bars. Because it's easier to just like say why we can't achieve it behind the bars, because the person can see like, well, I'm physically hurt. I'm physically going through something. So you can see that, you can see the bars. If you ever visit somebody in prison, or you even watch it in the movies or whatever the case may be, you can physically see those bars. So you can physically see the restrictions of an inmate. But imagine your mental being incarcerated. It's behind bars, and just because you may get an extra hour or rec time or food time or whatever it is, just giving you paritable or whatnot, whatever it is, you have to be able to free yourself. You have to free your mind. You have to free your mental, because when you're free, when you're like absolutely free, let's say like how the QVC shows will say it, like, they always say like free, but including shipping and handling. But absolutely free means you'll give me everything, and all I have to do is call in. So when you're on your road to being absolutely free, or you're there ready, it just means that you're going to deal with everything up front. I've had problems where I didn't deal with it up front, and what happens? You carry it with you. You carry that luggage with you, that baggage with you, and whatever your next whatever your next stop is, wherever you're going, guess what? You're going to have suitcases in your hand. That luggage that you carried from your last stop. Instead of just arriving at a new destination or a new stop with nothing in your hand, with just an open mind and an open heart, or let's just say this, with a free mind and an open heart to experience everything that's in front of you. Now, just because look, life is going to be some issues. It's going to be ups and downs. It's really about just, from my opinion, how I look at it from this point of view, it's about how you deal with these obstacles. How are these obstacles going to affect your character, and how are you going to go about them? It's easy to say, well, I'm going to do this, Well, yeah, if you've never been in that situation before, how can you say you'll do this? You don't really know, until you've been there before. So I'm never going to make it seem like, oh, well, I'll always do this. I'm always just going to stay true to my character. But by saying that, I know that hardships will come. Hardships will come for me. Hardships will come for every individual that's on the face of this earth. That's just what it is. But how are you going to deal with it? But by you trying to escape something mentally, all you're doing it, you're locking your mental into a box and saying, I'm gonna put it here because I'm gonna lock the mental up here so I have an excuse not to deal with it. You have to free yourself. Whatever it is, everybody's road is different. For me, it was, when I began my walk with Christ, and things were very difficult at first. I didn't understand anything. I didn't know, I didn't want to be the person who was just like, why are you doing this to me or whatnot. I thought it. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. I thought about things like, God, why are you making me go through these things? But I remember I attended a church in Miami Gardens, and I remember the pastor, the sermon he was preaching was about walking through the fire, and just what he was preaching, it was just saying that all these hardships you're going through, that's just a fire to to strengthen you, to burn away all the impurities off of you. And when we're burning away when these impurities are being burnt away, or being burnt off of us or whatnot, that's when we feel like, well, I'm going through this, so I got to go somewhere else. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with, be like dealing with what's in front of you. I had to, when going through the fire, I had to deal with what's in front of me because that was making way for my new character or for my strengthened character. Like I said, I wasn't. I think we all go through changes and we all go down paths that we may not be proud of, and I'm one of those individuals. But I did spend some time, not dealing with my problems head on, and then in my process of walking with Christ, when I first began, like I said, this pastor was preaching about, going through the fire, and it just resonated to me. I was just like, man, like just the way he spoke about it was just like, dude, just don't worry about it. Anything that's impure in your body, he's burning out of the way. He's getting rid of that stuff because you don't need it. I could easily just hid behind some wall and made an excuse like, well, God, I can't do this because I'm dealing with this in front of me, so that's why I can't do it. But I just chose to just not incarcerate my mind, not incarcerate myself. I didn't want to put myself in a prison. I wanted to free myself. And to free myself, I had to deal with what's in front of me, just simple and plain. So tonight, I want to encourage you guys to whatever you're doing to quote unquote, your escape, think about it like that. I would urge you to think about it like that because that's really all you're doing. You're gonna keep returning to that, that mental prison, every single time, and just, well, it's easier over here. Well, yeah, because you get free food. You're not really paying for anything, and I'm not trying to. I don't really want to speak about it in that way, like like prisoners have it easy or whatnot. I'm just saying, in a sense, if you're somewhere and you're being taken care of, then you're going to consider it to be easy. But if you're out on your own and you're taking care of yourself, it means you're facing the problems head on. It's like, hey, look, I got to take care of me. So anybody out there, listening to this right now, look at it from a point of view where maybe the only thing you had to do is pay a cell phone bill when you were a teenager. And then look at it like now, as far as maybe you have kids and a mortgage, you have to provide for that. You have to go out there and face the issues every single day, no matter what it is, to provide for your family, to provide for your loved ones, to pay the mortgage, pay the rent, the car notes, and everything else like that. But to sit here and just and I've come across people who just make excuses like, oh, well, I can't get here because of this is the way the world is. Look, the world is the world, but I'm not gonna say you can change it or you can't change it. But I'm saying you have to change yourself first. Before I'm concerned about changing the world, I'm gonna be more concerned with changing myself first. If the world catches up with me, great. If it doesn't, then I'm not responsible because at the end of the day, I didn't create the world. But if we all, take responsibility for ourselves and we just deal with the things up front, and just deal with what's in front of us so we can go to the next step. This is going to teach us more things about ourselves. And the more you learn about yourself, trust me, you'll be amazed with the things you learn about yourself. I'm amazed every single day when I learn something new about myself. And, for me, like I learn every day how to love people more and more because people can easily irritate you, aggravate you, make you, they can say dumb things or crazy things or whatever type of things to just make you look at them funny. But we should always find a reason to we should always find a reason to love them. If you're up tonight and you're alive, it means God has given you another chance to do whatever it is He wants, whatever it is He put on your heart to do. So that's a blessing. He's blessed you with the gift of life, with the gift of a sound mind, with the gift of being able-bodied and things like that. He didn't create you to incarcerate yourself. He didn't create you to incarcerate your mind. He gave you the power to do these powerful things. He gave you the strength. You have it in you. But I do understand sometimes it is easier just to run and hide, or it's easier just to go behind those bars and make excuses and say like, well, I can't do it because I have this in front of me. It's easy to put something in front of you to justify why you can't go where you should be, where you're destined to be. So tonight, let's look at these things. Let's, what are we, I would say, what are we using to incarcerate our mind? And like I said, what are you using as a way to escape reality? I'm not saying watching the movies is escaping reality. I'm not saying having a drink is escaping reality. But if you're using it as a means to escape, then that's where the issue could lie at. If you're going to have a drink, have a drink, but me personally, I won't use it to say like, well, I had a bad day, or I had like everything's piling up on me. And like I said, it's easy for me to say that. It's easy for me to say, don't have a drink, even though everything's piling up on you, it'll be okay. Easier said than done. But no matter what, you got to get through it. And you're not going to get through it with sex. You're not going to get through it with the bottle. You're not going to get through it with any type of drugs. You're going to get through it by actually facing the problem head on. And it's just the same thing. You got to face your fears. You're not going to be able to face them drunk. You're not going to be able to face them high. Whatever it is, you're going to have to face your fears, whatever those fears are. So, I just say do yourself a favor and don't incarcerate your mind mentally. Your mind was not meant to be incarcerated. It was meant to be free. Let those wild thoughts go out there and let those, to show you how great you can be when your thoughts can just roam everywhere. When you're not putting a restriction on it, on your brain, on your mind, then you'll think of these things, of these great places. And we've all been there. We've all thought in ourselves in a great way, or see ourselves achieving something great. So if you can think of that thing, then what's stopping you from doing it? Because don't try to justify it with, because I don't have any money, that's why I can't do this. Because I don't have that, that's why I can't go about that. Trust me, there's books you can read. There's classes you can take. There's all types of free stuff. And even if you want to use like money as a way, trust me, you can find investors. Well, one thing I learned with investors, if you have a good idea and they know that it'll make money, they'll invest their money into you. Because they figure like, hey, look, at the end of the day, this guy can do all the legwork. I could put some of my money into it and just make royalties off of it, make residual income off of it. Maybe this person will let me buy some stocks in the company. So there's never an excuse not to work. But if you're gonna sit there and put yourself in a jail cell mentally, it's then you're holding yourself back from your greatness. So tonight, let's break free from that mental incarceration. Let's release ourselves and let's go be the great people that we were intended to be. Let's spark the great mind. Let's spark our minds to be great, and let's just do some roaming and think of these great and wonderful things we want to do for other people, for individuals, for ourselves. And let's not use any excuses why we can't do anything. Before you make an excuse why you can't do anything, find a reason why you should keep going in that direction. Because it's easy to give up, but it's worth it to go on. And I think that's a deep, very deep saying. And just keeping it simple. It's very, very easy to give up. You just want to throw in the towel. Just throw in the towel. But it is worth it to go on. And when you can look back and see those footsteps that you made in the snow and see how far you came, then you'll figure like, if I came this far, especially if I didn't have this, and I didn't have this knowledge of it, let's see how much further I can go. So I thank you guys for tuning in tonight for the Transformation Chamber. Once again, I'm your host, Ronald. And as always, you guys have a safe night out there. Before I leave you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when new episodes touch in. And give me a thumbs up if this video was for you. Thank you, and have a good night.